Hey, good morning, Facebook Live. It's JP Moery with the Moery Company. And man, I'm back from Tennessee doing some business out there with the great folks at the American Coatings Association. That was an awesome retreat yesterday. Thanks for the opportunity. Hey, I want to tell you about the three things that I learned launching this business almost 7 years ago now. 6.5, I guess it is. And there are three things. I know there are a lot of, there's so many resources that you have out there that can help you out on this stuff. You know, just Google it. But there are three things that really kind of resonate with me now that I look back and I think about it when we launched the company. And first and foremost is I developed a business plan as the first step. That included the value proposition, the problems we were going to solve for our association clients. It included the pricing structure, and maybe most importantly, it included the org chart, the organization chart, not for the company that I launched, but for the company 3 years down the road. So that included marketing, sales, that included technology, all those different components that I felt like were going to be absolutely critical for a growth company. Now, I put all those job descriptions and that org chart in place, knowing that on day one, frankly, I was going to be the only employee, and that I was responsible for those things anyway. And that kind of gave me a sense of all the things that I was going to have to try to execute on early on. Things like technology that I frankly didn't know anything about. Things like accounting, which I've never enjoyed. And what that enabled me to do is know that I had to do the job, at least initially. And they were the first things that I would hire or outsource when I had the resources to do so. So develop the business plan. Everybody agrees about that. But set up your org chart for 3 years down the road so you know what kind of positions and responsibilities you're going to have to do on day one, and you'll need to hire 3 years if you're successful. Item number 2 is develop the sales plan. I've said this over and over again. When you launch a new company, you're going to be the number one salesperson. And you're going to need to be able to get out there, hear what the prospects tell you about the value prop and the services you provide. This is a very important part of that sales plan. You have to go to your business network and ask your friends and the people that you've worked with for years to be your first clients. If they're not willing to do it, that's going to tell you something about your business and whether it's viable or not. What I learned is in the first couple of years, I really thrived and really began to stabilize the business because my friends and former colleagues were willing to support and take a chance on me because I'd worked with them before. If they weren't buying and if they weren't willing to work with me, I probably wouldn't be here today. So I have a lot of people to thank. Hopefully I've delivered for them. But if you've got to go sell to your client, you have to go sell to your friends and family first to see if this deal's feasible. The third thing I would talk about, man, and I've thought about this a great deal since launching the company, and that was price. How are you going to price your projects and the things that you offer? It's probably the number one. If I look back, it's the number one mistake I made. I was very concerned about getting work. The thing that I learned was you're going to get, if you've got a good reputation and you've got a good service and you can execute on it, it's not going to be a problem of getting customers. It's going to be a problem of can you feed your family on what you're charging for the projects. So many times we go to market and we undervalue what we provide or the expertise or the specialization that you can execute on. So think about pricing very diligently, and you have to think about pricing from the context of going back to the item number 1, and will it support your business plan and sustain the business? And will it feed your family? Not pricing the projects and the consulting work or whatever you're going to do on getting the work. Because getting the work was never the challenge for us. It was pricing it in the right way so you can sustain the business and grow. And put money back into the business to hire more people to fill out that organizational chart. This is something, and here's the other thing. It's like compound interest, but in a bad way. Once you set that price structure, 6 years from now, I'm still paying the price, or in a way, of not setting some of my pricing the right way. So that is a gift or a burden that you're going to continue to have to deal with down the road, because all of a sudden you can't say, I don't think, oh my gosh, I had this pricing wrong on this, and I'm going to have to completely change the way I charge people. By then, you've developed a reputation. People know what kind of your business model looks like, and it's a real challenge to make that change. So spend some time and have some courage, more than I did, frankly, of pricing your product or your service the right way. So, to review the 3 things: develop the business plan, but include the org chart for 3 years down the road. Secondly, put your sales plan in place, and don't be afraid to ask your former colleagues and some of your best friends to be your first customers. If they say no, you've got a problem. And then thirdly, be very diligent about your pricing. And set it up so you can sustain your business and feed your family, not to just get the work. I hope those 3 things are helpful. It's a very reflective time for me as I think about how we were setting up that business, what seems to be a very long 7 years ago. Have a great time doing it. Hey, I'd like to tell you more and have a more conversation with you about how to run businesses, how to grow associations. So feel free to connect with me on MoeryCompany.com, our new website. Listen to our podcasts, Association Labs, and I hope you also enjoy our blog. You can get that all at MoeryCompany.com. Hey, have a great day, and best of luck to you. Bye-bye.